Good morning, everybody. Very pleased to be here to share with you a bit about where does this thing about AI actually fit in. So if we can just flick the slide, I've got one slide to take us through, but it is a build. Is a clicker up here?
Oh, I've got it clicked. It's clicked.
I kind of want to talk you through, well, if I just give you a nudge when we...
What?
It's good for the live stream, it all looks very professional.
I'll click for you. Just say click.
Just say click. Okay, so I want to take you through a bit about our journey in a way, to give you a bit of context. Some of the things I'm going to talk about over the course of the next 6 minutes or so kind of do back up what you've heard from some of the earlier speakers in terms of a concept. But I want to kind of give you a bit more flavour around what it really means when you're building a business. That's quick clicking. Okay, we're going to start at the bottom. So you often hear...
That's not me.
I didn't realise I was the comedy element, but I'm happy with it. I'm happy with it. I'm going to start down here with data quality. And you often hear people talk about people, processes, and technology as being really the important things. People are important throughout the whole part of your business. So I kind of like take people away, and I talk about data, process, and technology, because you're going to have to make sure you've got the right people at the right place anyway. In terms of clean data, without a good foundation here, you're going to come across some problems. So if you're looking at people talking about ABM account selection, if you don't have the right data on your accounts, it's going to be hard to select the right targets. Lots of deduplicated records. Multiple people from your organisation calling the same prospect is not going to help you close that deal. So before you do anything around your stack really and think about AI, I would strongly advocate thinking about your data. If we can, next one please, James, would be great. This bit has got nothing to do with technology. This bit is all about your processes. Something that I've learned and observed to a degree in our own organisation when we first started out on this journey, and also when I've spoken to other people. We use Salesforce, quite a lot of people probably do in this room as well, but Salesforce as a CRM can be a bit complex, and it can end up being a bit messy. I think that's because the process of the business is messy, and Salesforce is basically, or your CRM just ends up being a mirror of what your business is actually doing. So you have to take the opportunity to step back. We talked about marketing and sales working together, but have a unified lead and sales process from the beginning to the end, and agree what it is you want to automate and what you want to kind of speed up and accelerate. Which is really around the automation. This automation piece is about creating time. I forget which speaker it was. I think it was Anthony from Serious Decisions, when the top right-hand box, more people actually working in the generating revenue area. This automation piece is all about marketing automation and other platforms which are going to create that time, both in the marketing team to focus on the right campaigns, and then the sales development team to focus on the right leads, and then the salespeople to focus on the right opportunities. And a bit of careful thought there can really help you out. Now, Predictive, this for me is like, this starts to be a bit of a game changer. Predictive technologies can really help you identify both the right accounts to go after and also the right time. So, for example, we use a platform called Everstring, actually. There's what we call our fit scoring. And what's very important about this technology is, I found at least, the more technology you put into the system, the more cynical, to a certain degree, the sales team will become. It's like, there's another platform going to do this and another platform going to do that. So we actually launched that kind of in a soft mode, in a stealth mode, and we were able to prove that the algorithm worked. The algorithm doesn't say you're definitely going to win this deal or you're definitely going to get an opportunity. It's just a signal which tells you where you should focus more of your resources. And once we were able to prove that through the kind of the stealth mode that we went through, we got a huge amount of adoption around using that for our account selection process. And linked here as well is what I call the intent data that we look at. We get intent data from Bombora. Without going into the details, it can tell us which accounts, it's not personal data, but which accounts are actually looking at content on the web that is what you classify as part of our market. So our market is contact center solutions. So we can tell which accounts are looking at content around that, and those which are what we call surging, so they're looking at it more. So this means we can start to get into that opportunity earlier. One of the speakers earlier showed again a stat, I think 50-60% of the decision is already made before they speak to you. Using the intent data, we can start earlier and start to shape that conversation with our prospects and be more involved which helps us with our win rate. And then at the end is the AI for us. Now, I'll talk a bit more about that in a minute about what we do, but you can switch these two around a bit, which might work for you. What is the right thing to do? But I would always recommend this foundation as being really key before you start getting into the more complex pieces. And for us, AI is also about creating more time and prioritizing our SDRs. So our organization is very effective at generating a large number of leads at things like trade shows and events. We get literally thousands and thousands. We cannot follow them all up. And even if we could, the reality is a lot of them, being a trade show, are not going to be that great a lead for us. We know there are good leads in there, but to find them is pretty difficult. Yes, we can use some of our predictive technologies to help us identify the good ones, and that's what we do to push those through to our SDRs for that actual follow-up. But then we use something like the Convertica platform that we use in terms of email assistant to take over kind of the volume, if you like, and deal with those inquiries in a sensible way. And in nearly all circumstances, our prospects believe they're speaking to somebody because of the nature of the conversation that we have worked at effectively programming into that AI. And from that, we can actually then get the hot leads, which we can then focus and bring back up to our SDRs. The rest, they can stay with marketing, that they may be ready for purchase in 6 months or a year, but we've been through a process with them and we haven't really left any of our leads behind. We've made sure that we've captured as much of the good stuff as we can. So we're just coming up to the buzzer. I'm going to give you 21 seconds back, James. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you very much.